if you let me lend you one right back.
So the Ghost and Molly McGee Season 2 has arrived, and already it's created quite a bit of buzz online by introducing a new love interest for Molly, Ollie Chen. And there were several brands who were unpleased when this was revealed in the previews, with the reasons ranging from, oh no, a hetero couple, to, they can't be a couple because they look like siblings. And of course there's the fact that there were already dedicated fan bases for both Mollibby and mollandrea, as people have been shipping those two pairs throughout Season 1. So you can just imagine how disappointing it must have been for them to see both ships sink, at least for now. However, when the new season finally arrived, the relationship between Molly and Ollie, or Molly, started receiving lots of love from fans. So right off the bat, we have a ship that has the fandom split. As for my thoughts on this couple, well, let's discuss these two for a bit first. So in the Season 2 premiere, Ollie Chen is introduced when his family moves into the house across the street from the McGees, and as soon as Molly meets him, she was smitten.
I want to reduce my carbon footprint.
And as the two of them interacted, they seem to have everything in common. Just like Molly, Ollie has a strong desire to make the world a better place. He even has his own version of Molly's made up word in Happify, that being in Goodify. And at this point, the two of them seem to have a mutual crush on each other. So Molly and Ollie seem like a match made in heaven. However, there was just one tiny little problem.
Of course I believe in ghosts. My whole family does. We're ghost hunters.
Ghost what now?
Unfortunately, Ollie and his family are ghost hunters, and considering that Molly's best friend Scratch is a ghost, along with the fact that he's practically a member of the McGee family, this naturally puts a major roadblock in the potential relationship between Molly and Ollie. From there, Molly finds herself in quite the messy dilemma, as the boy she not only likes but also clicks perfectly with, views ghosts as nothing more but evil monsters, and would inevitably go after Scratch. Of course, not wanting to give up on her feelings for Ollie too easily, Molly attempts to persuade him to reconsider his views on ghosts, however it's all in vain, as he's dead set in his beliefs. That pun was not intended. This is where we get a song from Molly, where she expresses her heartache over wanting to be with Ollie, someone who has the same kindness towards the world and all living creatures that she has, but can't because of this one issue.
Why can't he see? Ghosts aren't the enemy.
And so afterwards, Molly has to consider that Ollie may be a lost cause. However, this doesn't make her massive crush on him go away, which brings us neatly over to the episode, I Wanna Dance with Some Ollie. In this episode, Molly and Ollie are putting together their school's dancing band called the Brighton Bop, and Ollie asks Molly to come with him to it, for environmental reasons as they'll carpool to get there, but it's blatantly obvious that they both actually want to go as each other's dates. This causes a rift between Molly and Scratch, as he takes this as a betrayal against him since Ollie is a ghost hunter. Molly, however, exacerbates the conflict by trying to deny her feelings for Ollie and acts as if Scratch is overreacting. However, not long afterwards, Scratch is caught in one of Ollie's ghost traps, and Molly ditches Ollie to save him. After rescuing Scratch, Molly apologizes to him and states that she's now done with Ollie for good, as their friendship is more important to her, obviously. However, this storyline is far from over, as at the same time, Ollie finds out about Scratch's existence. And despite being hurt by what Molly had said, he chooses not to inform his family about the confirmed ghost sighting, showing that he still cares for her. The resolution here shows that Molly will definitely choose Scratch over Ollie as long as he continues to be a ghost hunter. So unless he changes his views on ghosts, the Molly ship will never set sail. However, Ollie is clearly set up to receive further character development later on in the season. So far, the conflict between Molly and Ollie has an intriguing setup, but as for my thoughts on their relationship itself, meh. At this point in time, Molly is nothing but a puppy love, a surface level crush and not much else. And all of this comes down to Ollie being an underwhelming love interest. When I first found out about Ollie along with the news that he was going to be Molly's crush, I had a handful of concerns, such as, is he just going to be a pretty face with zero personality? And will this just be a cliched one-sided affection plotline? While the latter didn't happen as Ollie clearly likes Molly as well, the former unfortunately ended up being true, as he's bland as vanilla. Actually scratch that, because he's so boring that this comparison is an insult to the flavor of vanilla. The idea that the writers attempt to get across is that Ollie has the same values as Molly to give the two of them common interest. But in execution, Ollie just ends up being a checklist for Mollie's ideal love interest, rather than a character. In a nutshell, Ollie is basically the same as Mollie, minus the energy and the charisma, which makes him rather dull. While on paper it makes sense to give Mollie a calmer person as a love interest to contrast with her more lively personality, however, they ended up going too far in that direction for Ollie, to the point where he's honestly a pretty boring character. As a result, the chemistry between Mollie and Ollie is non-existent. It's hard to find the two of them blushing around each other to be adorable, because Ollie doesn't have a defined personality, and there's barely any development in their relationship. And the show is clearly trying to get the audience to ship Mollie and Ollie together. I mean, just look at their interactions at the Brighton Bop.
I know we said this wasn't a date, but if you wanted it to be, I wouldn't mind.
Really? I'd like that.
And there's of course all the kids at the school being obsessed with their relationship, telling them directly that they're cute together. I don't know about you, but it definitely feels like the show is telling me that Mollie and Ollie have an adorable relationship, rather than letting the chemistry between them speak for itself. All I'm seeing is puppy love, and not much else. Although it's not impossible to make it genuinely endearing. I mean, just look at Sprig and Ivy from Amphibia, as well as Kelsey and Stax from Craig of the Creek. The Ghost and Molly McGee just failed to make it work well for Mollie and Ollie, at least in my opinion. So with some fans hating on Mollie, and many others loving it, I fall into the middle, as I simply find it to be an underwhelming ship. While the conflict that's keeping Mollie and Ollie apart is interesting, it's not as engaging as it could be due to the relationship between them being bland, along with Ollie lacking personality. However, with that being said, there's a strong chance that all of this could change later on in season 2. As the storyline is far from over, the show is clearly setting the stage for Ollie gaining some character development that will hopefully make it more interesting. Also, it's highly likely that this will lead to him changing his views on Ghost, which will open the door for the Mollie ship, as that would finally remove the figurative barrier that's keeping Mollie and Ollie from becoming a couple. And perhaps then there would finally be some actual chemistry between the two of them, thus making their relationship more enjoyable. Of course, this is all just speculation, so we're gonna have to wait and see for what the rest of season 2 brings us. And that was my video on the Mollie ship. If you enjoyed it, then be sure to give it a like, share, and comment. Also, subscribe to my channel and hit the bell for notifications. Also, if you're interested in supporting my channel, then head over to my Patreon. Well, I got nothing else to say, so see ya.